Today I want to talk to you about why ignoring your problems will not make them go away. Some people love numbers, algorithms, coordinates, statistics. Not me. Some people love black and white, but I see through words, and I make connections, and I make comparisons. And this is what happened just the other day when I came across the words in a book, and here's what they are. You can't get away from yourself by moving from one place to another. I'll say it again. You can't get away from yourself by moving from one place to another. That's from the book, The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. If you haven't read it, it's really, really good. But it's like those words came off of the page, went into my head, and created this picture. Now in the book, there's this protagonist. His name is Jake, and he tries to get away from himself and his previous experiences in the war and his bad relationship. Now there's lots of interpretations in that book on that particular quote, but I want to give you my interpretations about getting away from yourself. Ignorance is not bliss. Sometimes we think that if we keep moving, keep working, keep buying, keep drinking, keep ignoring them, our problems are going to go away. And this could not be more wrong. Now, sure, there's little problems like I should power wash my house so the big problem of the mold is gone, or I should floss and brush so that problem of my sore gums is gone. But there's also big problems that happen in our life. Problems like splintered relationships, abuses, hurts, hurtful words, misdeeds, misunderstandings, undeserved criticism, bashed reputations, fractured friendships. And ignoring these kind of problems give them the power over you, and you are weak. It keeps you in bondage. Since the problem has never been taken care of, well, then all these negative emotions arise, like anger, frustration, feelings of abandonment, feelings of unworthiness, depression, taking it out on other people. All of those can rise up at their whim because you haven't taken care of that emotionally packed problem. It's like a scab that never heals. The scab is ugly, it's painful, and it just won't heal. And that's what this emotionally packed problem can do if you do not take care of it. It's ugly, it hurts, it's painful, and it doesn't heal. The problem gets the power, and you remain weak. Stopping and facing our emotionally packed problems head on give you back the power. And who doesn't want to feel large and in charge? Have you ever heard of the Scarlet OHara syndrome? Well, that's a trick question because you probably haven't, because I actually made up that term, the Scarlet OHara syndrome. I use this with my coaching clients a lot. And I use it when they're not addressing some past things that are keeping them from going forward. We talk about the Scarlet OHara syndrome. Now, let me explain. So Scarlet in Gone with the Wind, if you didn't know that who that is, Scarlet in Gone with the Wind, it was an expert ignorer. She ignored a lot of things. This is especially evident in my favorite scene, and it's at the very end when Rhett Butler says those iconic words, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." And Scarlet runs to the door, or she's at the door, and she runs and she says, "But Rhett, what do I do? What shall I do? Where shall I go?" And then she stops and she says, "Oh, I can't think about it now. I'll think about it tomorrow." And then she runs to the steps. It's my favorite scene. If you haven't seen it, you should Google it. But that is the Scarlet OHara syndrome, and I used to be the queen of that. I ignored my painfully emotionally packed problems like an expert. I was really, really good at thinking about things tomorrow, but tomorrow never came. And I struggled with an eating disorder. I struggled with low self-esteem. I struggled with negative self-talk. And instead of getting to the root of all of those things, I just let those problems become destructive, and they had power over me. And my personal life suffered. I had zero confidence, and frankly, my marriage was really on the rocks. My problems were powerful, and I was weak. And my wake-up call came when I got to the root of those problems with a counselor, and I was offered a business that I needed to jump into, and it forced me to get to the root of those things so that I would get confident. I would not be depressed. I would not feel unworthy, and so on. And all of these happen, all of those good things happen because I addressed my problem. So I want to share with you just 4 really, really basic things that I did that maybe will help you, will be of assistance to you as well. So if you want to take your life back and stop ignoring those problems, try these things. The first one is to acknowledge what that problem is. I mean, so many times we say, I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you? Fine. How are the kids? Fine. When there may be some problems. So acknowledge them. No more acting like nothing is wrong. It's time to acknowledge the problem and do something about it. So name the problem, say it out loud, tell a companion, talk about it, and give it substance. Bring it out into the open and make it real. So number 1 is to acknowledge it. No more, I'm fine. No more ignoring. Second one is to feel the problem. Let it sink in. When did it start? Why did it start? How did it start? How did that belief start? What feelings are associated with that? Are any of your relationships damaged because of that problem? If you had addressed the problem and put it to bed once and for all, what kind of person would you be? Get angry and take the power back. Number 3 is to release the problem. It sounds simple, it sounds hard, but it's simple. Release it. Sometimes when we do something tangible and watch something and visualize it, it really can help. So try this. Write out that emotionally packed problem that has got you down. Write it out. Write it out. And after you write it out, burn it. Sounds silly, but seriously, burn it and watch it leave, and say as it's burning, you don't have any more power over me. I am strong. I'm strong. All right, so number 4, last one, is now replace that problem that you had with new feelings. Say goodbye to the problem, and maybe now you can have peace. What kind of feelings? Joy, belonging, confidence, worthiness, gratitude. Feel those new feelings. Replace the old ones and take a hold of the new feelings. And if you do that, then I want to congratulate you, because now you are powerful and the problem is weak. So here's the bottom line. You were created to use your gifts and talents, I was too, to bring value to the world. And we can't fully do that if we're going to continue to ignore those emotionally packed problems. Don't wait until life isn't hard or those problems aren't there, because they're going to always be there until you decide to be happy. Deal with them now and have some peace and joy, or deal with it later and let that unrest continue. The decision is really, really yours. So thank you so much for watching this video. Hey, I want to hear from you. Tell me,